Hi, everyone. My name is Lydia Martinez, and I'm here to talk to you today about questions you should ask before working with an influencer for your brand or business. Influencers are an amazing way to let people know who you are, what you're about, what you do. They're a great way to connect with other people, um, and they're a really good way to build that know, like, and trust factor using an influencer's audience and the trust that that audience has in them. So you get to piggyback off of that, and it's really, really effective. So one of the events that we did for Punch Bowl Social when they opened in my town, and RIP Punch Bowl Social. They since have had to contract quite a bit after COVID. But when Punch Bowl Social opened in my town, one of the things that we did is we did some very exclusive influencer events where it was invite only. It felt really special. It was a preview. So they were getting access to the space long before anybody else was in there. And we're posting about it and talking about it and building the buzz. And then from there, the other thing is we had media tours that were for food journalists. And so we were covering two different types of influencers, and these tours were very detailed. They were high up. The CEO, the director of food, the director of the beverage program for the whole company, they were there giving these personalized tours. And then the media was getting a chance to taste the food and sit and experience. And, they were there for a couple of hours and they could take all kinds of photos. And so it was really a detailed way to connect with those two different types of influencers. And so think of influencer power as really, really useful for your business. And influencers have recently gotten a bad rep because there are a million influencers out there. So these are some things that you should ask to set yourself up to be successful with those influencers, and really make it a great partnership. And that is the key, I think, of any relationship. It has to be a win-win. It has to be a win for you. It has to be a win for the influencer. It's not just about building their audience. It's about boosting both of you. So the thing that I always ask myself when I'm looking to work with influencers is, are they the right fit? That's what I ask myself long before I even approach an influencer, or if an influencer approaches me. Do they have the right audience for my brand or for my business? It does not make sense to have like a comfort food restaurant that really focuses on their food and beverage program, and their boozy milkshakes, to work with a fitness influencer, right? The audience doesn't mesh. So think about that as far as, are they the right fit? Do they have the right tone? Are their posts congruent with who you are and what you represent? Maybe you have kind of a professional and polished brand, and one of these influencers, their brand is a little bit crass or brash or over the top, or there's a lot of swearing. No problem with that. I love some of those influencers myself, but it may not work for your highly polished, highly sophisticated brand. Do their values match? Look and scroll through their feeds, look at their website, look at what they're doing, and figure out, are their values similar to what it is that you are doing? Is it a good match? And look at the other types of brands that they're working with. Are they on par with your values, the values of your business, things like that? So are they the right fit? The other thing I consider is, if I am a local restaurant, and this happened recently, where one of my local restaurant clients got approached by an influencer, and this influencer had something like a couple million followers, just huge. And they were claiming to be a Utah-centric food influencer. Well, when we dug in and started looking at their brand, the thing that we realized is that all of those followers, most of them were not even in Utah. So that means that if this restaurant is pulling people in from a 5 to 8 mile radius around Salt Lake City, guess what? Their followers aren't going to be coming in to that restaurant. They're just not. Or if they do, on the off chance that in 2 years they travel to Utah, are they even going to remember that? So think about that as well when you're thinking about the right fit. I would rather have a local influencer in that case with a very niche local following base that can then engage right there in the moment. So think about those things as well. The other thing I ask myself is, how is it a win-win? I like to approach influencers myself that I want to work with on behalf of a business or on behalf of myself. And I like to approach them with an opportunity that is a win for both of us. One of the things that I did recently as kind of an influencer campaign for my own business was our Salt City Grant for Growth. So I got together with 2 other parallel marketing agencies that do similar things. I've worked with these ladies before, with Corrine from Hone Your Social and Callie from Capture House. And we put together this marketing grant that's valued at over $30,000, and we're delivering that up to someone, but we were all posting about it on social media. We were talking about it in our live streams. We had blogs, e-blasts, things like that going out. We were really developing a win-win partnership that worked for all of us and boosted all of our brands. You know, we got to do it. We got to be in the news talking about it. We got to put it out there in a lot of community groups as well, and people were applying there. And so it was a great boost for every single one of our brands, and it was something I was really proud that I put together. But that influencer marketing, where we were all marketing each other, and this grant that we wanted to give away to showcase what we're capable of, it was a win-win-win for all 3 of our companies. And we're having a blast working with the client now, which is Alpha Coffee, amazing, and helping them grow. So, and again, it's another big win. The other thing I always like to look at when I'm working with an influencer is, are they professional? Do they run it like it is a business and they are professional about it? Do they respond to their messages? Do they respond to their emails promptly? Do they have packages? Do they come to the table ready to communicate? Do they deliver on what's agreed upon and promised? Are they okay with a contract? If you are paying them, by all means, have a contract of what is expected of them. And so you want them to be professional, because if they are not, it will reflect on your brand. And it truly will. You do not want your brand to come across as unprofessional. Look at how they've acted with other sponsors, with other paid ads, with other things that they are doing out and about in the community. Take a look at those. See how they're doing, see how they're behaving. The other thing that is really important to look at is ask them what's included. So if we decide to work together, here's what I want to accomplish. How will you be able to support me in that? And some influencers are paid, some they just want experiences, some they'll do it for giveaways and things like that. Some will do it for free food. But all of those different things, you need to get it in writing. What is included? What do you charge? What will you deliver? Is it 2 wall posts, a story, and a reel? Is it, a wall post on your Instagram feed, and you're going to do a reel, and you're going to do a blog post after the fact detailing your experience? What is it that is included? What is it that you get? And be specific, and also put a timeline to it. When can I expect this? Will you be doing it live? Will you be doing it later? When should I expect delivery? And so that's something else that's really important. The other thing I always look at and ask for is, can you give me your analytics now? What's your reach? What's your engagement rate? I would rather work with an influencer that has 2 to 5,000 followers and has a highly engaged follower base than an influencer that has, 50,000 followers that barely engage and half of them are fake accounts. So ask for their analytics. What's your engagement rate? What's your rate of comments and shares and saves? What's your viewership rate for your YouTube channel on average? What is it that you're accomplishing when you're seeing this and that in your stories and your feed? And then also you want to ask them if they have to provide analytics for your specific influencer account. Ask them for analytics after the fact and find out what it is that they got out of it, what it is you got out of it, what the results were, so that you can gauge whether or not it was worth it for you. And finally, ask them if they have any case studies. If they are professional, they will have case studies that they will be able to share. If you have any other questions about influencers, how to work with influencers, how to set up an influencer program, we really like doing affiliate links with our influencers, so they get, a portion of the proceeds of sales from our clients. All of those different things, we would love to help you set that up and get you on the right path so that you can have a lot of success with your influencers. Thanks again for tuning in. Hopefully this was helpful, and we'll see you next time.